Megan, please
Yes.
let me know, what do you do when you tend to overthink? What
Okay.
works with you? Give me three tips.
So the first tip I have for you is called the 5-day, 5-week, 5-month separation. When I'm overthinking, I can easily become stuck in this loop of the current problems I'm facing, decisions I have to make, work I need to get done, how I'm going to approach that work, how little time I have for that work, how little time I have for myself, or even on waiting on results or a specific outcome. So by separating my thoughts or problems into different time frames, I can take a step back and look at what needs my immediate attention and what weight I can take off my shoulders. So
Mm,
how it works is by starting by taking a piece of paper or opening a notes tab on your computer or on your phone. And I start by listing all the problems or tasks or decisions that are causing me to overthink. Then I separate it into four different categories. First is the 5-day issue, the things that I need that need my immediate attention. The second is the 5-week issue, the things that need my attention, but I can take my time on. And the third one is the 5-month issue. These are really long-term issues that I can really take my time on thinking or doing. And the last that I like to include is the things that I have absolutely no control over. So things that I'm overthinking about or giving me anxiety that I can't control, like waiting for results for an exam or waiting to hear back on an unfinished project. A work deadline could be a 5-day problem. Reaching out to some friends to organize a dinner could be more of a 5-week problem, whilst a career change, for example, could be more of a 5-month problem.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it's also important to remember that you can really play around with the time frames. So if I have like a lot going on in this next month, I can separate it into a 1 day, 1 week, and 1 month problem. And I always remember to put a category for the things that I have no control over because it helps give me some relief, put my attention on the things that are within my control and need my immediate attention.
That's brilliant. I mean, I'm a very organized person, and
Mhm.
just the fact that you are putting them into four different categories
Yeah.
just by itself
Mhm.
sounds very relieving for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just that I can at least take the three other
Yeah,
categories that are not my immediate attention and know that I can come back to them later.
exactly, exactly. They're out of your head. They're onto the paper now.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. Give me the second one.
The second tip I have for you is setting specific worrying time. So I like to schedule, for example, about 10 to 15 minutes after my work day, when everything is closed, when everything is done, to think about these worries or concerns. During these 10 to 15 minutes, I sometimes even take out my 5 by 5 by 5 sheet to add more to it, to rearrange it. So I like this because it also gives me a calm space to think about these concerns instead of overthinking about it in a time when I'm feeling a lot more stress. You
Yeah,
know that saying, don't think of a pink elephant, and you start to think of a pink elephant?
yeah,
This idea can really apply to telling yourself to stop overthinking. Trying to suppress your thoughts can be really challenging. It doesn't work most of the time.
I
So
agree.
by designating this worry time, I allow myself to acknowledge all these thoughts, but instead of suppressing them, I'm saying I'm parking it for a later period.
Yeah, yeah, I use the same. And it's so powerful,
Mhm.
not because only we're parking it for later, but because we're taking back control. It's not,
Yeah,
instead of our thoughts controlling our lives,
yeah,
we are taking back the control of our lives.
yeah.
Brilliant.
And we're also acknowledging that some of these thoughts are important to us, not just something that we want to push away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly, exactly. And we cannot go against the natural, the nature actually of our brain. Our
Yeah,
brain wants to think. I mean, we
yeah,
cannot stop that.
exactly. Okay.
Right. The third one.
The third tip I have for you is more of a grounding technique. It's a simple exercise called the 5 4 3 2 1 exercise. When I'm overthinking, my mind is usually busy with thoughts of the past or thoughts of the future. And this tip really helps me bring myself back to the present moment by engaging all five of my senses. So the tip is basically naming 5 things you see, 4 things you feel, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you smell, and 1 thing that you taste. And I'm not afraid to be very descriptive. For example, I see a blue water bottle very close to me, or a black coffee machine very far away. This is really incredibly helpful for bringing my attention back to the present moment and stopping that flow of overthinking.
Yeah, that's very helpful to bring ourselves back to the present moment. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing something you have tried and it worked for you. And I'm sure it will work for other people because I've also tried some of the tips you gave us. And I didn't know about the 555, but I'm going to try that as well. It sounds really, really
Yeah.
um, a really good fit for my brain.
Yeah.
So tell us before we close this short tips therapist tested interview.
Yeah.
What are the challenges that you're working most with your clients? What is the
Okay.
most common challenges you face?
So I help clients struggling with the umbrella of anxiety. So
Yeah,
it could be academic anxiety, social anxiety, work anxiety, or work and student life stressors, the constant overthinking. And I also help with the anxiety that stems from the low self-esteem or self-worth. I'm an integrative psychologist. I've
okay.
mostly been trained in CBT, but I also use approaches that stem from other therapies like schema therapy or acceptance and commitment therapy.
A beautiful combination.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. If you want
No,
to work with Megan, find the link in the description and you will not regret it. She is fantastic, kind, friendly, compassionate. I love working with her. I'm sure you will love
thank you so
working
much.
with her as well. Thank you again, Megan. Have a good day.
You too.